Welcome to Pishon's Parindey Tanjore Art. I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to explore an essential technique in Tanjore painting, the grid system. Specifically, we'll guide you through the process of sketching the image of Tirupati Balaji using this method. The grid system is an invaluable tool that helps create intricate and accurate artwork, ensuring that every detail, from the deity's face to the intricate jewelry and robes, is perfectly scaled and proportioned on a larger canvas. Let's dive right in. Understanding the grid system. The grid system is a technique used to transfer a smaller and detailed image onto a larger canvas by dividing both the reference image and the final canvas into equal sections using horizontal and vertical lines. This method allows you to scale up your design with proportional accuracy, ensuring that every element is perfectly aligned. How it works: divide the reference image, for example, Tirupati Balaji, into smaller sections using a grid. Create a matching grid on your canvas, maintaining the same proportions and number of sections. Transfer the content of each section from the reference image to the corresponding section on the canvas, ensuring that everything fits proportionally. Steps to apply the grid system. Step 1. Prepare your reference image. Start by gathering a high-quality reference image of Tirupati Balaji. Make sure the image is clear and captures all the intricate details, such as facial features, the crown, jewelry, and drapery. The clearer the reference, the easier it will be to transfer the design accurately. Step 2. Create a grid on the reference image. Overlay a grid of equal size squares, for example, 1 inch by 1 inch or 2 inch by 2 inch on the reference image. The size of the grid squares will depend on the size of your final painting and how much detail you want to capture. Label the grid with numbers and letters such as A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. to help track each section easily. This step ensures you don't miss any details during the transfer process. Step 3. Create a corresponding grid on your canvas. On your canvas, create a grid that corresponds to the grid on your reference image. For example, if your reference image grid has 10 squares horizontally and 12 squares vertically, replicate this on the canvas. Scale up the size of each square depending on the size of your final painting. If each square on the reference image is ½ inch, you might want to increase it to 1 or 2 inches on the canvas, especially if your painting will be much larger. Step 4. Start sketching square by square. Begin sketching the image section by section. Start from the top left corner and work your way across the grid. Carefully observe each square in the reference image. Focus on the key details, lines, shapes, and proportions, and transfer these to the corresponding square on the canvas. Begin with the basic outline and proportions first. Don't worry too much about the fine details at this stage. You're simply establishing the structure. Applying the grid to Tirupati Balaji's design. I'll take you through the entire process of sketching this beautiful and divine image using the grid system method. The grid system is an invaluable tool that ensures precision and perfect proportion, which is absolutely critical when working on such an intricate and revered subject like Lord Balaji. Whether you are a beginner just starting your journey in Tanjore painting or an experienced artist looking to refine your technique, this method will help you achieve accuracy, confidence, and clarity in your work. So, let's dive right into it and explore how I use this technique to create a sacred and divine portrait of Lord Balaji. Kirti Mukham design. Let's begin by looking at the Kirti Mukham design, which is one of the most symbolic features in traditional Tanjore paintings. The Kirti Mukham, often depicted as the face of a lion, represents divine protection and the removal of obstacles. It's placed at the top of the painting, usually as part of the arch or temple-like framing structure. The Kirti Mukham is not just an ornamental feature. It has a very spiritual and auspicious meaning, symbolizing the energy that flows into the artwork. When working on the Kirti Mukham design, it's essential that the symmetry and proportions are perfect, as it sets the foundation for the rest of the composition. This is where the grid system becomes incredibly useful. By dividing the canvas into smaller, manageable sections, I can ensure that every curve and line of the Kirti Mukham is positioned correctly. The grid helps me achieve this by providing a structured blueprint, guiding the placement of each individual element within the design. For example, the lion's face has specific proportions. The distance between the eyes, the placement of the nostrils, the width of the mouth, and so on, and the grid allows me to transfer these proportions accurately onto the canvas. With the grid, I can focus on small sections at a time, ensuring that every detail of the face is symmetric, balanced, and positioned in the right place relative to the rest of the artwork. As you can see, starting with the Kirti Mukham and using the grid system from the very beginning ensures that the entire composition flows smoothly. It establishes a strong base, and every element from here on will align perfectly within this structured framework. Arch design. Next, we move on to the arch that frames the image of Lord Balaji. The arch is an important feature in Tanjore art. It is often symbolic of a temple doorway or the sacred space that houses the divine. The arch has both aesthetic and spiritual significance in Tanjore paintings. It's not just a decorative element, but it's also a divine enclosure for the deity. Again, the grid system plays a crucial role here. The grid helps me break down the arch into equal sections, making it easier to achieve perfect symmetry. I can clearly see the central axis of the arch, the side arches, and the space between the two pillars. With the grid in place, I can ensure that both sides of the arch are identical, which is vital for maintaining harmony in the overall composition. Once the basic shape of the arch is in place, the next step is to add the gaz-yalis or on either side of the arch. Gaz-yalis hold deep spiritual significance in Indian culture, symbolizing strength, power, and auspiciousness. They are often seen in temple and religious art as protectors of the sacred space. In Tanjore paintings, the Gaz Yalis add to the grandeur and majesty of the composition, framing the deity in a way that enhances his divine presence. Using the grid system, I can ensure that the Gazyalis are positioned correctly, proportionate to the rest of the design, and symmetrical on both sides of the arch. The grid divides the canvas into smaller sections, allowing me to capture the majestic form of each Gaz Yali with precision. I make sure that each curve, from their trunks to their ears, their legs, and their bodies, is placed according to the grid lines. This attention to detail ensures that each Gaza Yali complements the other, providing balance and harmony to the composition. sketching Lord Tirupati Balaji. Now comes the most important part of the painting. Lord Tirupati Balaji himself. This is the focal point of the entire piece, and every detail must be perfect. The beauty of using the grid system for this part of the process is that it allows me to scale up the reference image accurately while maintaining perfect proportions. The grid serves as a visual guide, helping me to draw the image step by step, ensuring that every part of Lord Balaji's face and body aligns properly. I start with the most essential feature, the face of Lord Balaji. The face is the central element of the composition, and it is important that every feature is proportionate and symmetric. With the grid system, I can measure and position the eyes, nose, mouth, and ears accurately. For example, the distance between the eyes, the angle of the nose, and the curve of the lips are all critical in capturing the serene, divine expression of Lord Balaji. The grid system makes it easy for me to place these features in the correct alignment, ensuring that the face has the right balance and symmetry. Pay close attention to symmetrical features, such as the positioning of the eyes, the folds in the robe, and the central placement of the crown and ornaments. Symmetry is crucial in Tanjore painting, where precision plays a key role. Focus on key details. Once the general shapes are in place, start refining the smaller details. Facial features. The serene expression of Tirupati Balaji's face, including the precise positioning of the eyes, nose, and mouth, jewelry and crown. The intricate jewelry around the deity's neck, ears, and arms, as well as the elaborate crown. As I work my way down from the face to the rest of the body, I use the grid to maintain proportional accuracy. The grid helps me break down the entire figure into smaller sections, each one proportionate to the next. This is essential when working on a figure like Lord Balaji, whose body and posture need to flow naturally and harmoniously. For example, the placement of the arms, hands, and feet must remain proportional to the head and torso. The drapery of the robes must follow the natural flow of the body, creating a sense of movement and elegance. Each detail, from the position of his fingers to the curves of his robes, is placed carefully according to the grid system, ensuring that nothing feels out of place. Jewelry and ornaments. One of the most exquisite aspects of Lord Balaji's depiction is his ornate jewelry. Lord Balaji is often portrayed wearing an elaborate crown, earrings, necklaces, and other adornments that enhance his divine aura. It's critical that these pieces are not only placed accurately, but also proportionate to the figure of the deity. With the grid system, I can precisely sketch the jewelry and ornaments, ensuring that their placement complements the rest of the design. The size of the crown, for example, must be proportional to the size of the head, while the earrings and necklaces need to be placed in alignment with the face and body. The grid allows me to carefully measure these proportions, ensuring that the jewelry fits seamlessly with the overall composition. As I work through the jewelry, I also pay close attention to the intricate patterns and designs that adorn each piece. The grid helps me transfer these details accurately, capturing the delicate designs that make the jewelry so regal and divine. By working systematically, I can focus on small sections at a time, ensuring that the fine details are correctly placed and proportioned. Drapery and folds in the robes. As I move further down the body, I begin to sketch the drapery of Lord Balaji's robes. The folds in the fabric are essential for adding a sense of depth and movement to the painting. When you look at Tanjore paintings, you can almost feel the texture of the fabric because of the way the folds are drawn with precision and care. The grid system helps me capture these folds accurately, ensuring that they are in the correct position and proportionate to the rest of the body. The flow of the fabric must appear natural, as though the robes are gently draped around the figure. With the grid system in place, I can measure the distance between each fold and ensure that the fabric falls in a realistic manner. This is crucial when working on a 3D painting like Tanjore, where the drapery needs to look as though it's in motion, flowing around the figure with grace and fluidity. Pillars and final details. After finishing the basic structure of Lord Balaji's figure, I turn my attention to the pillars that frame the entire composition. These pillars not only add grandeur to the artwork, but also create a sense of depth and perspective. The grid system allows me to ensure that the pillars are perfectly aligned with the rest of the composition. As I add the intricate details to the pillars, the carvings, the patterns, and the ornamental designs, the grid continues to guide me. I work through these details systematically, ensuring that they are consistent and proportionate, adding to the overall richness of the painting. Once the pillars are complete, I return to the final details. With the grid system as my guide, I can now focus on adding those finishing touches, the tiny accents that make the painting come alive. Whether it's the fine detailing on the crown, the intricate patterns in the jewelry, or the final folds in the robes, the grid system has helped me maintain perfect proportions throughout the process. The grid has guided me through every step of the process, ensuring that every detail, no matter how intricate, is captured precisely. I hope this video has helped you understand the importance of the grid system in creating a Tanjore painting, especially one as intricate and sacred as Lord Tirupati Balaji. The grid system is a powerful tool that can greatly improve the accuracy and precision of your work. If you have any questions or doubts, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and answer any questions you may have. Whether it's about the grid system, the sketching process, or any other aspect of Tanjore painting, I am here to help. Step 5. Finalizing the sketch. Once the grid-based sketch is complete, refine the details. Begin adding finer touches to the facial features, jewelry, crown, and folds of the robes. Carefully observe any patterns and textures in the drapery or crown and transfer them in detail onto the canvas. Once you're satisfied with the overall structure, gently erase the grid lines, leaving only the finished sketch on the canvas. By using the grid system, you ensure that the proportions and symmetry of Tirupati Balaji are accurately transferred onto the canvas, making it easier to create a detailed and proportionate work of art. This method is indispensable for intricate artwork like Tanjore paintings, where precision is essential. The grid system allows you to focus on the structure and layout of the painting before diving into the intricate details, giving you a solid foundation for your work. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced artist, this system will help you achieve precision and confidence in your Tanjore art. If you have any questions or doubts, feel free to leave a comment or ask. We are always here to guide and help you on your artistic journey. Thank you for joining us today at Pishon's Parindey Tanjore Art. We hope this guide helps you in creating beautiful, intricate Tanjore paintings. Now that the sketch is complete, you can see how the grid system has helped me achieve perfect proportion and accuracy in the sketch of Lord Tirupati Balaji. Thank you so much.